Let's take a look at this Realistic SCR-40 AM/FM stereo cassette player and recorder that was sold starting in 1990 from Radio Shack for a price of $69.95. That equates to about $168 in 2024. I found this at goodwillfinds.com, which is an online thrift store, and I paid probably too much for it once shipping was included. However, I thought it was nice looking and I wanted to check it out. Looking at the top, it's pretty basic. We have tone, low and high volume. We can choose radio or tape, of course. There's a microphone on top, tuning, and FM stereo, and AM switch. This unit has a few interesting features, one of which is a handle that extends from the right side, allowing you to carry the boombox vertically. If we spin the boombox around, we can see a compartment that would hold in-ear earphones. Five C batteries will power this. And of course there's an AM beat cut switch, AC power from the back, and on the side we have a headphone jack and DC power. This is not the original antenna. The antenna that came with this from the thrift store was also not the original. It was way too big. So I replaced it with an antenna that's way too small.
Enter a bold new world where you
drhi.com.
$10.99 Tuesday. So get your midweek pizza pick-me-up by stopping in the Papa Murphy's and pick up any with
I rest in the arms of Jesus, come what may. Someone had
and monthly financial support. You will be blessed supernaturally.
To your hospital room with the paperwork.
Most anybody can give me is $3,300, but
let's throw a cassette in and see what it sounds like now after I've worked on it a bit. Removing the screws on the back and ensuring that the cassette door is open allows you to get inside pretty easily. The mechanism should look familiar. It's a very common one. There's 1 watt 8 ohm speakers that actually sound pretty good for the size. The tuning indicator is connected to a pull cord or a rip cord, and the tuning wheel is connected directly to the tuner. So this does away with the dial string. And here's the back of the cassette mechanism with 2 belts, and both were actually in pretty good shape. One flywheel to motor and then flywheel to center gear. Here is the motor. So the mechanism actually wasn't working very well. Play, fast forward, and rewind, you would have to hold down in order for them to work. I was able to fiddle with pause and play and come up with a system such that when I would pause, and hit play and then unpause, the deck would play, but then the stop wouldn't work, it wouldn't stop playback, and there were still issues with fast forward and rewind. So this wasn't going to be a solution. Here's the back of the mechanism, and you can see that when I press stop after playing, this lever does not return to where it should go with that spring attached. Basically what I'm thinking is this deck needs to be completely torn down, cleaned, and lubricated, and maybe then it will work properly. However, I thought it would be interesting to try a brand new mechanism that I found on AliExpress, which appears to be the same exact mechanism, and it's sold there as the TN21. I believe the TN stands for Tenashin. So the new mechanism is just mono, and that's not going to work because we've got a stereo system here. So I'm going to swap over the stereo head from the old mechanism as well as the motor onto the new mechanism. So here is that stereo head and some wiring. So it does look pretty easy to just move this over onto the new mechanism and do some adjustments so that it sounds good. So here it is, and I'm testing all of the functions: play, fast forward, rewind, stop. Everything seems to work very well and smoothly. One other piece I had to swap over was this little tab that triggers the record switch on the circuit board. Of course, I didn't notice this until I already put everything back together and found out that record wasn't working.
Iran's allies have reacted to this news. Also, a special report from our Middle East correspondent about how Palestinian detainees from Gaza are treated by Israeli forces. As ever, you can send us your thoughts on anything you hear on this program. Our text and WhatsApp number is +44 77 86 20 50 85. We would love to hear from you. Forces. As ever, you can send us your thoughts on anything you hear on this program. Our text and WhatsApp number is
Isn't it strange? Isn't it just like me to change again and live in a fire? Isn't it just like me? The fire